global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
The Finnish government have finally come out clear over the issue of Simon Ekpa and his activity against the Nigerian government. And guess what? It has attracted a lot of reactions from different quarters. Now, the Finnish government delegation came to Nigeria to discuss economy and also security. And then, during the press conference, the representative took out time to talk about that issue, though according to the information made available, his name was not being mentioned, but there is already on ground a judicial process, to ascertain everything about his activity, whether it is within his fundamental human right or it's against it. And according to the information made available, the Finnish government has announced that it is looking into the complaint filed against Nigerian Finnish citizen and Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa by the Nigerian government. Minister for Foreign Affairs of Finland, Elina Valtonen, disclosed this in Abuja on Tuesday during a press conference. She explained that Ekpa's case is now before Finnish court. She said, "We have taken this up and discussed this with the Nigerian authorities, and the entire process is within our judicial system." She informed the gathering that the issue came up during the meeting with the Nigerian government officials on Tuesday. Valtonen, however, did not provide details of the legal process. The Nigerian government for years has demanded drastic action from the Finnish government and the European Union to stop Ekpa's fiery social media activities, fueling killings and instability in Nigeria's southeast region. Valtonen and her Nordic counterpart arrived in Nigeria on Monday to deliberate on peace and security and to promote trade and investment cooperation between their country and Nigeria. Others with her on the first of its kind group visit of Nordic countries' top officials are the Minister for Foreign Affairs of Sweden, Tobias Billström, the Minister for Foreign Affairs of Ireland, Tordis Kolbrun, the State Secretary for International Development of Norway, and Under Secretary for Foreign Policy Denmark, Ms. Eva Maria Frida. The Nordic ministers said they met with the Nigerian government and officials of the West African regional body ECOWAS on Tuesday. According to them, issues of security, economic cooperation, education, trade and investment, and the rule of law, among other topics of shared interest, came up in the deliberation with the Nigerian government. Ekpa's case, which has strained the Finnish government diplomatic relationship with the Nigerian government, was also discussed, according to Ms. Valtonen, who avoided mentioning the name of the Finnish Nigerian citizen. According to the Premium Times, the Finnish minister did not explicitly mention Ekpa's name, but her description of the case pointed unmistakably to the agitator whose matter has created a fault line in the Nigerian-Finland diplomatic relationship. Valtonen stressed that the principle of rule of law would guide Finland's handling of Ekpa's case. Her words say Finland operates very strictly by the rule of law. It is a question to the judicial system, and both our judicial system collaborate on this matter, and we hope that we will be able to close it soon. That was what the minister had to tell Nigerian government about what they are doing already. Well, guess what? Ekpa has decided also to pick up the case and talk about it. First of all, he referred to the paper that had reported it, declaring it junk, and he went further to say, "You can write for all I care. Nigeria remain terrorist state, and Biafra will continue to brutally defend itself against Nigerian terrorism. Under my watch, as the Prime Minister of Biafra government, both in exile and in the homeland, we will continue to brutally defend ourselves against the demons." Those were the words of Simon Ekpa. And afterwards, he also responded, considering the rate at which Nigerians are talking about it, he has also decided to speak up. He says, "You now have new topic for the week. I have over 50 million Biafrans who voted for self-referendum. On whose interests are you reporting your junk? you will all be put to shame on social media action. Well, a lot of people also have reacted to it. And unfortunately, what is coming up, I don't know what will happen in the nearest future. But I think that the Finnish government will want to concretize their relationship with Nigeria and will do everything within its power to ensure the right thing is done. But however, even as we talk about that, I think the federal government should also take into consideration their demand, because what is breeding all of this is actually their demand. But then I think the federal government should consider calling them to sit in a round table to discuss this issue, because this issue has been there many years back. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, who is currently in detention, was as a result of this same issue. And all what they are demanding is a referendum. And most people are of the opinion that the government can still conduct the referendum and then we decide on something, or possibly we go into regional government, though they are part of Nigeria, but let them function not really in isolation, but let them do their own thing and report finally to the center. All of this is what Nigerians are talking about. But however, it's important to note that many lives have been lost, whether it was caused by him or caused by Nigerian government. The truth is that it has cost a lot of people their fortune. We've seen very reputable people being taken out. Our security operatives have faced, unthinkable attacks from different quarters. Sometimes I begin to wonder, what's the future of Southeast? The people who are living there, what are they expecting? What will their life look like? So many businesses have decided to, take a dive out from that place. And I'm wondering, if we continue like this and that environment is totally isolated, what is the future of the people there and the history of that place? Because whatever we do, we have to take into consideration all of this, the history of the people. What is the history? What is the history we're going to be leaving behind for our younger people to come and see? I feel that Simon Ekpa should be called to a roundtable talk, and possibly Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, because the case of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu by now should have been settled. And the reason why it's not being settled is because there is currently a court case, though I give it up to our senators and lawmakers. About 180 of them have reached out to the president that on the grounds of political solution, he should be, allowed to be free. He should, because he's been there for almost 3 years or 4. Allow him to be free. He says if he comes out, the crisis in Southeast will be tamed once and for all. So let him come out. And I also feel that if he comes out, Simon Ekpa will also rest, if he will rest. But I feel that all of this was towards, the person of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Though Nnamdi Kanu has sent messages across to him, he says he is under the control of Nigerian government, so he cannot respect anything that comes from him while he's still there. But however, I feel that if Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is free to walk down the street of Nigeria without any fear, I feel that all of this katakata in the Southeast will, come to a standstill. So many people have gone down because of this issue. It's not worth it. I'm talking about destinies of millions of people. Yeah, people will say they are sacrificing for Biafra and all of it. It's not worth it. It must not be by blood, before you get referendum. We can do it in a more civil way. We can do it in a better way. And it has to do a lot with aligning with the leaders in Southeast and reaching out to the president and saying, this is the situation. We want out. Let there be a referendum that will finally decide for us, the future of the Southeastern state. I know a lot of people do not even want that to happen, because one big Nigeria is what our target is. But then they feel they have been marginalized. I feel if they come up with all this demand, the government can look at it, the ones that can be addressed speedily. You address it. And if it's still possible for us to stay as a foe, why not? If it is not, referendum should be conducted so that everybody will be happy at the end of the day. That's what I like to leave it. Let's meet in our commission and talk more on this. What do you think is the future of Simon Ekpa now that Finland has already given Nigeria the assurance that the case is in their court, and the judicial process is ongoing. Let's interact.
Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.